Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a design system that I created for one of my clients called Triphammer Beer Works. This is a system for designing their beer cans, the labels that go around the beer cans. Triphammer is a brewery in Fairport, New York, sort of close to where I live, and I've been designing these cans for them for the last 6 or 7 months. We've done about, I think, 8 or 9 of them at this point. And I just wanted to show you guys quickly this design system that I created, which helps me to not just expedite the process of designing these cans, but also ensure that we have a really consistent system throughout all of their cans so that aesthetically they look really good together sitting on the shelf. So this actually started out as a project that I worked on in my final year of grad school. I created this design system for beer cans. We were basically tasked with creating a system for some type of food that you would see on a store shelf, or really anything that you would see in a grocery store. And for me, I decided that I would reach out to one of my friends who runs a brewery to see if they would be interested in having me create this design system for them. I knew that they were looking to kind of refresh what they were doing with their cans at the time. And I thought it was a good opportunity to, get some work done both for my education as well as professionally. And it's led to this relatively exciting project that, like I said, we've created I think 8 or 9 cans at this point. So really excited to continue pushing this system and developing it along the way. First, what I'll show you guys is the final label that we have here. This is essentially the final output of what gets sent to the printer, and I'll kind of show you how we arrived at this point. So for this particular system, I always start with the illustration, which kind of guides the rest of the can. Obviously, the beer name exists already. This one particularly is based off of the Mos Eisley Cantina. This is a Mos Hazy double IPA. You can see that the illustration here is the Mos Eisley Cantina, obviously, with the 2 rising hop suns in the background. The brewer, Scott, is a big fan of Star Wars, particularly the original Star Wars movies, and we thought that it would be fun to create a beer series around Mos Eisley. So I start by creating these illustrations in Procreate. These are kind of like almost like a technical drawing. I try to do similar to what I did in design school when my time studying industrial design. Really industrial line shading, as well as thick outline and smaller details in the pen work. I really focus on keeping the transitions of the lines really clean, and the arcs really clean as well. It's super important for me with these drawings to look pretty technical, almost like construction drawings. And then that's kind of what pushes into the rest of the can design as well. And you can see all these callouts here. Really, it's supposed to look somewhat like a blueprint, I guess. So once I have my illustration complete in Procreate, I will move this into Photoshop, actually. I'll export it from Procreate, then bring it into Photoshop. This is another illustration that I did for a different can. But from here, what I'll do is export it as a PNG. And the PNGs are what get dragged into this Illustrator file and sized to fit the label. I'll also show you really quick the folder structure that I use to kind of keep things organized. Like I said, there's PSDs, there's PNGs, and then there's actually the final print labels, which are what get obviously sent to the printer. So once I send the PSD from Procreate into my actual computer, I'll put it in the Sketch PSD folder. So each one is named after its respective beer name, and that kind of keeps everything organized there. Finally, what I will do is head up to the print labels tab. I have a style guide, which we'll get into in a second, as well as a template proof, which kind of just acts as a base for me to base everything else off of. It has everything properly aligned in terms of text and other elements. In this file, everything is still typable. So obviously when you send it to the printer, you're going to want to create outlines, but this one is still an editable file, which I will then at the end of creating the final can pretty much just outline all the text and get it ready to send to print. But it's really helps speed things up if you have something that is still a typable file. So that brings me to this, which, like I said, is the template proof here that will eventually save as its respective beer name, in this case the Most Hazy, and send that to the printer. But what also helps speed up this system is having a style guide. So in this, I just have all the different sizes of text that are used throughout the can. So we have, the beer name, the beer style. The beer style actually is slightly variable depending on the length. So for example, if it was like a Pilsner, that's not going to fit in this space vertically. So what we would have to do is size that down a little bit. But everything is aligned at this baseline of text here and the trip hammer, and then it will shrink down into the right. So everything kind of like stays in that vertical line there. Another couple things that change between the can are obviously, the color is going to change between can to can, as well as all of this body text over here that we see in the label. This is a lot of the stuff that, the government requires to be on the beer can: the brewery location, the ABV, the IBUs, and the size of the can. So all of this information is stored here in the style guide in case something, gets outlined and I accidentally save the file. It's easy to just pull something in from the body, and everything is logged in the style guide. So it's easy to fix and pull back to its original state if something were to happen. So once I have the beer, renamed here, as well as change all the ABV, IBUs, and any other information that might need to get changed from can to can, I'll go through and create these dimension lines. And all these dimension lines are kind of descriptors of the beer in general. So this one you see here has cashmere hops, very low in bitterness, quite hoppy, very smooth. There's some notes of pineapple in it. So we basically just try to put all the descriptors in the dimension lines. And some of them have like fun little jokes in them as well. So it's a fun kind of way to, keep interest throughout the can. Makes you maybe discover new things the next time you look at it. So yeah, that's more or less it for this design system. Pretty straightforward and really helps me save a lot of time. And like I said, stay consistent. To kind of recap the process here, I'll basically come up with a concept for a sketch based on the name of the beer, create that in Procreate and send it over to Photoshop, where I will export a PNG and then bring that into a template Illustrator file, which is reinforced by this style guide here. And then I'll go about rearranging all the text that needs to be rearranged. And then finally we'll send it to the printer to get approved and actually put on some beer cans. So I hope this video was helpful for some of you guys trying to maybe create a design system, particularly for a product. If you found this interesting, it would be awesome if you would, leave a like or comment on this video and let me know if you'd want to see some of the other design systems that I've developed. I have a number of other products that I've done something similar for, but every product is unique and takes a slightly different approach. This is just one of my favorites, and I thought it would be fun to share with you guys, hopefully a bit helpful. So as always, thanks for watching, particularly if you've made it to this point in the video. I very much appreciate your time, and hopefully this video was helpful to you in some way in developing a design system for a product. As always, if you find content like this interesting or helpful, it would be awesome if you'd subscribe and hang around for future videos. All right, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Later.